How is everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome to another day with Blueingcraft. So, what do we have planned? So, I talked last week that I will be using blue stuff, and I am tomorrow. I have everything planned. I just want to speed up some work for today, which mainly is our little fella here. So, this is a Saudian veteran, which is a miniature, and I need to fix this shit here, right here, because it's broken and it didn't glue um, at all. Oh, and now I broke it into tiny pieces. Okay, nice. So yeah, I'm gonna fix this. Maybe I'll glue it with resin. I think it's better because the super glue isn't doing anything. And then I'm going to try and sand it really nicely on these edges that I've done with resin. And then we are going to prime. Now I'm going to prime with um, my airbrush, and I'm going to show you guys how I do it, which prime I use, and which prime I'm planning on using in the future, and to try it out. And I'm going to work through all those process. So without further ado, let's start, right? So the first step is I'm going to grab a toothpick here. I'm going to grab my hobby knife, which I bought from AliExpress. Really good, really good hobby knife, really sturdy, and it fixes the blade really well. Strongly advise it. You guys buy this, and at the same time it's really cheap. So yeah, and it even has this little rotating knob at the back. So since I'm not going to use a lot of resin, I'm going to put it here, just a little blob, and I'm going to my safety condom and I'm going to remove the excess of glue and clear resin that I used. So what I found out from this is resin and super glue, I don't think they like each other. So if by any chance you had um, super glue and you put um, resin on top of it, I don't recommend you to do that at all because they don't blend too much together. Um, so I'm gonna try and see if I can use this little soldering tool that I like to use for this type of job. I'm going to try and grab here the tiny piece of of the tip. I'm going to find the right balance. Sorry, I was just checking here if this was resin or not. It doesn't seem to be. Putting this on the side. I'm also grabbing my little lantern here that I have. I have this tiny USB lantern that I bought. Actually, I don't think I bought. I think this was offered to me by my fiance. I'm going to put this here so you guys can see. Put this thing here. And I need to close the lid on the UV res. I just flipped the fucking wood stick. I have resin all over my mat. I need to clean this. Otherwise, it's going to solidify, and I don't want to have that solidified onto my working mat. So we have a nice blob there. Let me move this to the side. What I want to do is I want to put this connected to here. Like so. Nice, I think I can do this. Let me grab a really nice blob here. Let's put a nice blob there. And I'm going to try, and without changing the course of my lamp, I'm going to try and put this all together under the UV light. Hopefully, I think it's too thick. Yeah, like that. So let's do this in 3, 2, 1. Just try and fix my hand here. There we go. It's a success, guys. Nicely done. It came out a little bit thick, but I think we can sand it down. So that'll be good. So I'll be curing this. Now, guys, I've been recording a lot of stuff, so I can start building a small Patreon to provide you with stuffs, and this will be later, of course. But I want to start building tutorial videos and free ones on YouTube. So feel free to watch them if you like my content, of course. Okay, I think that's enough on this side. I'll put it now on this side. So now that we have this, let me see how it looks. Oh, it looks really nice. It's a little tilted, but I think it's okay. So let me grab my sand here, send my file, and let's start sanding a little bit. Another thing that I can advise you guys is when using clear resin or using resin to repair anything at all, be advised that the resin doesn't actually cure the same way as it cures on a 3D printer. So a 3D printer, the way it prints, it actually uh, makes like a pattern on it, right? So the edges are not they're smooth, but they're not like glass smooth, if you know what I mean. So they have a little small texture, as you can see. But for example, some parts where it's glowing, for example, right here, I know it's resin and clear one, but the thing is, clear resin normally, if not sand down, it has like a, how do you say it? It has like an oily layer that results from the curing of this resin, right? And that, my friends, it's really really hard for the paint to dry. Like the paint doesn't stick to it very well. So that's something to be careful about. Because I've learned the hard way where I tried, and believe me, I did try to paint over um, some pieces that I did for the for a tiny diorama that I did. And the thing is, I learned the hard way that this resin really needs to be sand down for the paints to be sticking to it, because otherwise that thing that I was saying, that layer, that oily layer, will prevent the paint from sticking. And the thing is, it doesn't stick. Not only doesn't stick well, it starts to like create a bubble. I don't I don't know how to explain it. I should have saved it, but this was way back in the day before I started recording. And yeah, it was a painting. Yes, I'm not gonna lie. So same process. I'm going to put some resin in here in the tiny horn. I'm going to put some resin in the tip here as well. And without putting resin on my fingers, I'm going to grab it, put it here. This is a little harsh. Not gonna lie, I'm scared. Fuck, it's tilting too much. I need some place to lay my hand on to have some more stability. Yeah, like this. All right, now we're cooking. Okay, so actually you guys can see that at all, but let me also cook this really quick because I don't want this resin to be all over places that it shouldn't be. It's nice. It's looking sharp. My mini is looking really sharp. So I wanted to show you guys. So look at this. Look at how bright it is. And do you see how well it flows? Like I'm even going to touch it. And as you can see, my finger just became like it's half oily. So this stuff, it actually releases like a I don't know what, but it releases. Let me just clean my finger just so I don't have any residue from resin. So the wonders of doing this, of fixing some resin prints with a clear resin is, since it's clear resin, the UV passes really well through all the recesses and everything, and it kind of binds the pieces together. I like to put some resin onto the joint parts of the miniature so it actually helps blend them in. And at the same time, since I'm doing clear resin, it helps for the UV to cure the resin itself properly. So my next step is I need to find a way to actually, oh, sorry, my trash can was following me. So I need to actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut, I have this package of sanding files, which they are glued to this thing. So what I want to do is I want to like have a small stick. Let me grab one. I have smaller ones here, but I want to grab a small one and then using it or putting it even smaller and having a small strip so I can fit between the joints of the miniature. So let's try and do that. I don't think this helped. Maybe I need to create like a straight line. I want something as small as this one. Let me zoom out so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Sometimes I completely forget to zoom out. If you don't have the tools, guys, just build one. Don't stop yourself from doing something if you don't have the right tools. You can actually build some stuff that fit your needs and it might help others as well. So if you have any ideas, follow them through. Okay, so I think we are good to go. Let me just remove this dirt here. Now I need to cut precisely the length of this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it above and cutting it. We'll do just a slight cut here. Let's try not to cut our fingers. Just a guiding line. And now cutting all the way through. It should have been, yeah. Now we unglue it and I'm gonna glue it now to the stick. So now we have a filing stick. The thing that I like about this technique is since it's um since it contains like a sponge to it, it's actually, if you make too much pressure, you don't harm the miniature and everything. Like, you see this sponge, yeah. And like this I can get to the places that I want. So now I can remove my UV lamp here. Let's put it on the side. This one also on the side. If you're wondering where you can get this, so I don't know about the other places, but here in Portugal and Spain, we have a store named Mercadona, which is something more like a Walmart or something like that. And you have this set where it has 4 different files. They're normally designed for women, for their nails and everything. But yeah, what I like to do is all the tiny pieces that I see glowing is what I'm going to be sanding, because I don't want to have anything that glows, which translates to the resin has that gooey stuff, which doesn't let the paint stick very well. So you don't need to be too rough on it, you just need to slightly. I know there are brands that they might have this sanding sticks or something like that, but I haven't found anything that I can actually buy online that isn't too fucking expensive. Now, I know hobbies are like expensive, right? But holy damn, a lot of people just exaggerate on their prices. And that's something that I achieved to do, which is hopefully I can buy, hopefully I can do or create a brand where we can buy stuff that are not too overpricey, but at the same time, they're good and can help the community to grow. That's one of my main objectives. And as you can see, this new sanding stick right now, really easy to use. It enables you to go to all the recesses, and the most crucial part for me is you can actually even go thinner than this. So I like to do it in wood because with these wood sticks I have some stiffness to it. So I think my mini is done, even though it's slightly fragile. I think I'm going to put it on to my curing station that I have, and I'll put it for, let's say, 5 minutes. So I think that's a good amount to help with the curing. So another miniature that I want to show you guys the progress that it's on. It's the skeleton that I was painting the other day. I don't know if I showed you guys. This is the current state of the skeleton. Like, I have some basic non-metallic foundation here, also some basic non-metallic gold here on the wings as well, on the ornaments around the skin, the around the garment, and on the shield as well. I'm working on the um I'm working on the bandages next, and on the skin, because I think even though the skin is looking the skin even though the bone is looking a little bit more bonish and everything, I need to raise the highlights and make it more in depth. And I also need to use a little bit of black lining and line here on the hands, just to give a nice detail and separation between the fingers, as well as on the I'm sorry, as well as on the ribs. I need to fix this imperfection here where I painted by mistake the red. I also need to improve a little bit the strips of leather. I need to create like some texture to it. And yeah, okay, like this is better. So, and I also need to, like I said, create some, yeah, like that. Create some texture to the leather as well as in the cloth. And I need to raise the highlights as well on the garment. It's a pretty cool miniature. It was from a painting workshop that I participated on. I wanted to, see what they could teach me more. It was a really fun gathering. The miniature was a 3D printed one. I think it's from One Page Rules as well as the dino that I have and everything. One Page Rules minis are really, really good. Totally dig them. totally dig them. And I really like how he blends everything in. It's so cool and so detailed. Even the teeth on the miniature. I will do better. I believe. Believe me, I will. But yeah, really like the way he did this. And I also want to show you guys the other progress. Maybe I shouldn't be showing this because this is going to be something that I'm going to use for a competition. But, you know, fuck it. I have this sculpture here. I did the basing the other day in stream. I already primed it. Oh, look, a little bit of prime here on the bark is missing, but I did a little skull just to give a nice detail there. Um, the figure is pinned down to the bark, so hopefully it won't go anywhere. But yeah, look at how powerful this pose is. Like, this miniature is fucking insane. And I plan on maybe tomorrow, I don't know, but I plan on painting on stream and I'll do some works here and there off stream. A friend of mine actually told me that this is showing in a magic card. And I think the name is Ajani. Yeah, it's exactly it. So Ajani is a warrior, a lion warrior, strength of the pride. And he has the exact same like weapon and everything. So I think the designer who did this, he called the miniature Amani. So I see some resemblance there, right? In the name. And the miniature is exactly the same as the one in the magic card. So yeah, I think he completely got the inspiration from it. I decided to print it because it's freaking insane. It's just so powerful. And I did the basing based on the Lion's King stone, you know, the one from the our childhood cartoon. Sorry, but I saw a tiny support here. It's bugging my brain, and it's better to remove it now than later. Okay, because I don't want any support showing anything that might ruin the miniature. So, and he has like a freaking ton of details and everything. Like, look at that. Even the armor, it's just so sick. The hair, uh, the braids, the goatee, leather on the chest, the armor itself, even the hammer. It's freaking insane. So yeah, so I heard right now that the curing of the Sauron veteran is done. Let me just go fix it. Let me just go grab it. I mean, and I'm going to put here on my handle. Give me just 1 second, guys. Okay. Okay, nice. So I inserted it here on my handle, and now I'm gonna swap out to the other camera where we have the airbrush station. So let me turn this on. I don't think you'll be listening to any noise. Let me just start real quick my compressor. Nice. So the brush that I'm going to use, it's not this one. It's my Evolution from Harder and Steinbeck. Really awesome airbrush. Totally recommend. Totally recommend. You should definitely get one. Okay. I'm just testing it out. So everything looks fine. Nothing major happening. So what I wanted to talk to you guys is I have two different primers, right? So normally what I have been using for the last couple of months, it's this one. It's Vallejo Primer 740602. And something that I need to try it out, it's this one. AK New Formula Wet Primer. Uh, I'm really curious about how the AK will perform. Not completely sure. I don't know what the heck is happening, but one of my cameras just disappeared. Give me just 1 second. Somehow. Oh, okay, here we go. Hey, welcome back, camera. So yeah, as I was saying, so here I have the black primer. I'm really curious to see how it will perform. So I will be using this one instead of the other ones. Like the black primer from Vallejo is really good. Don't get me wrong. Um, I heard so many good things about it, and I know a lot of people use it. I've been using them, and it's amazing. But I find that sometimes, I don't know, it's a little bit strange. It's like the primer itself doesn't really like help at all. I don't know how to say this, but it looks like the primer itself doesn't. I don't know. It seems like it doesn't correspond that well to the to the to the surface of the miniature, and sometimes at the minimal touch, it seems like it breaks off. It doesn't stick too well or something like that. So let me just shake this really well. Let me put this on the side. These are just some printing handles that I printed, and yeah, let me put it here on my airbrush. So from first glance, it seems like it's a little bit thicker than the one from Vallejo, which is okay. It flows nicely on the airbrush. I have this on 35 psi, so it's pretty much cool. But I don't know, it seems like it's a little bit thicker. Yeah, it seems like it's a little bit thicker, but it's not. It's not like stopping the airbrush or something like that. So let's try it out. So when you're applying the primer, don't be too hesitant on leaving a little bit of paint on the miniature, mainly because the mini has recesses and everything. And acrylic paint normally tends to be, or tends to give the impression that it's too much paint on the surface, but as soon as it dries out, the paint settles down. So it it actually like shrinks, and it perfectly blends in with the surface. So you don't need to be uh, too afraid of applying it. So I think that's okay now. So one thing that I found that it's really useful as well is a spraying bottle. I like to use mine with distilled water when cleaning. And what I do is I just like this, I just spray over the cup. I try to remove all the paint from it. And like that, I spray it into this funnel, which is connected to a jerry can, where I can ditch the water painted and the waste later on. What I also like to use when um, cleaning my airbrush is I like to use this airbrush cleaner. And what I do is I put a little bit of this cleaner and I pinch down the tip just so air flows back into the pot of the brush. We do this again, and this helps to remove any paint that is inside. Now I fill for a third time and I let all the cleaner to exit from the front of the airbrush. So hopefully, let me just see on a little bit of paper here. Yeah, no black residue. So the airbrush is clean. I'm going to use a squirt bottle here just to remove all the cleaner that it's inside the brush. And then I let all the water, the distilled water, run through, help it clean and remove all this airbrush cleaner because we don't want to leave any airbrush cleaner on the airbrush. Mainly because airbrush cleaners um, can actually uh, break all the paint. So if you leave any paint on your airbrush, it might damage later on any paints that you put after the session that you cleaned it. So I'm closing this, putting this on the rest, and we are done. So I'm going to be leaving this miniature to dry on this handle. And I'm going to, while it's drying, well, maybe I'm not going to use it today. I didn't think this through. Because I want to, like, normally when I prime it, I like to leave it to dry for at least 24 hours, just so I have the guarantee that it's completely, um, how do you say, completely dry, right? I don't want anything that might damage or fuck with my painting. So here we are. Actually, now that I think about this, let me just get a quick glimpse on Amazon here. Because I might need another webcam in the future. So I'm thinking of doing some non-metallic metal here on this gun and some non-metallic metal, or better, painting black armor, which is a pain in the ass to paint. It's actually a little bit difficult. Not a little bit, I'm going to be honest. It's harsh. At least for me, it's harsh. And I want to make it, I want to be better at it, so I think I'm going to do that. Let me just check real quick if so they actually have a 16 bucks webcam. Holy shit. Because it's a camera just to be grabbing this view. And I can connect it to the computer also. So that will be a bonus. Oh. So me just really quick. Add this here, and let me grab my wet palette here, and we are good to go. So the paints that we are going to use, what can we use to make black armor? Black armor is really difficult, I'm not gonna lie. And it consists on an approach of blacks and blues and stuff, and grays. So I might go with this one. I might go with anthracite gray for the base. Not sure if I'll be putting on some Russian blue base. No, it's better not. Let's use ocean blue for the shadows. I think it has a good combination. Well, maybe I'll use the combination that I use for the non-metallic silver. I think that will be a nice combination. It's blue, right? Blue shouldn't be like that. Let me think. Yeah, we'll go with that. Screw it. So, let me zoom in. Put this here so you guys can see the wet palette. Put these three here. So we'll focus first on the sketching. So one of the things that most of the big painters and everything, what they say is you need to create some sketching where you lay down all your layers and see how it's going to be, have a grasp of how the paint is going to get. So it's quite harsh. Not gonna lie. Let me just put it right here. Like that is better. Grab a little bit of thinner. Again, guys, I say this all the time. Silicone cups for tattoo artists, you can grab them on AliExpress. They're really cheap and really good to use, especially for this type of job, where if you want to have some thinner really close to you to use to apply whenever you want, really easy. So if I wanted, let me just take a photo. Where is my cell phone? I had my cell phone just right here. Where the fuck is it? Oh, right there. So normally what I like to do is, let me take this off my mouth. I like to put the mini under a nice light, and then we take a photo of it. This gives us an idea how light is bouncing on the miniature. So as you can see right there, oh sorry, let me just increase the, as you can see, so we have a lot of areas where we have highlighted, but there are another areas, and a lot of them, where you have complete blackness. That means the shadow is supposed to be here, for example. Let me grab another brush. this one. So here you have shadow, right? Here as well. Here you have a little shadow onto the part of the leg, this part as well. A little shadow here, even though. So this is the mid-tone, right? Shadow here, here it's shadow as well. You can see that the bottom part of the miniature is also shadow. Half of the leg is shadow. So this is a good hack, if I may say, for you guys to, when you don't know where to begin, this is a good starting point. Because if you mimic this position where the light is coming from, it actually helps you and makes a little bit more realism to the miniature. Because this is something that I normally struggle with, is the light position. Why is it so loud? God damn. So, according to the picture, let me put my cell phone stand here so I can see it better. So, according to the picture, we have like something like this, going a little bit white, and then all this here is blackness, and then we have a strong reflection, just like here, and what? Oh, all the way down to here. Remember, I'm just sketching. This is a good way for you to have a glimpse of how it will work out. We also have a highlight here. We have a tiny edge here. Okay, so we have a little bit of this circle, right? A little bit of that circle. Highlight here, a little bit like this. So half of the circle. The belt buckle also highlighted here. So nextly, we'll do this one. This is a full completely cover bridge. I don't know why I'm talking like that. So next, oh right, we're going to paint this part, entire shoulder. And most of the shoulder is going to be, okay, most of the shoulder is going to be painted. I'm not going to say completely, but it's huge. Huge part. You know one thing? I should have taken a picture from the back. Now that I remember. Because like that, you have a view from all the angles. Just to give you a notion of how. So the shoulder pad is looking like that. Also onto the helmet. And the front part now. Interesting. So we'll have some tiny reflection here. Do like this. So completely good and round zone here. And on the mask as well, but more on the right side. Towards the eye. So it's like the light is coming from a portion of the helmet, right? So I'll do the skull in a second. So here, a little bit there. Oh shoot! Completely fucked it up. Let me clean it. Damn. Have to be more careful. Right here. Just remove these hairs. So the front. I have to clean that. And now this arm is going to be also as well mostly painted. Okay. The light is also hitting this part. I don't know why this miniature has a pin so small. Like I can't barely put in the handle. Let me fix that. This way is really harsh to paint. If the miniature keeps moving. Oh, nice. Yo, this glue that I used, fucking hell, bro. It's really strong. Oh my freaking god. I can't remove it. And I almost fucked up my... I can't believe this. So, I need to pin it. Let me just, real quick. What time is it? 1 hour? Already? Okay, let's not do something that stupid again. Okay, so let me grab my drill here. Oh shoot, it's not this one. So the trick here is to just drill it down. Let me put this on the side so I don't screw this up. Today's an interesting one, isn't it? I don't know why the fuck this just came off, but... So, maybe I can do the hole right next to it. Yeah, I'll do right next to it. Let me just see the length of the hole. Ooh, we're quite deep. So yeah, we're already deep enough. So we can now put this on the side. And now we need a little clip, a little paper clip. And with these pliers, just straight this out. What I like to do is with the pliers, and as you can see, they have some small teeth or tooth to them. And I like to, make some I don't know how to say it, some dents to the metal. So the glue actually binds well to it. This one is deep enough. The good about paperclip is they easily break like this. You just have to tilt them to one side to the other and they'll break really easily. But now that we are done with this, while it's drying, we're going to continue painting. Multitask. How was the leg? Well, the leg has a little bit of shyness to it on this part. Then it grabs a little bit piece of here of light bouncing there. And we also have on the feet, a little bit on the feet. So we'll do like a tunnel right there, tunnel here, and like that. Like that is good enough. So nextly, okay, so now I also need to paint this top part. clean this. And now for the back. So of course this part is also highlighted. This part, the rims of the engine here is also highlighted. This top part is also highlighted. And this part here. What more? Let me see, let me see, let me see. So a little bit of this side. It's also highlighted. A little bit of this leg. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So you also want to create like a tiny highlight here. A huge highlight. Sorry, what? Oh, it's in the middle. I was doing poo-poo there. And now this side. Oh, I forgot one pauldron. What? Let me see, does the left side? Oh, it does. This part, it's highlighted as well. Nice. I wouldn't highlight it. So this part is going to be highlighted as well. So like that. And of course it has a huge highlight just right here. all the way to this part. I'm glad I took that back shot because otherwise wasn't going to be able to notice at all. So, I'm grabbing Sahara Yellow, another one from AK. This is what I like to use. Oh, actually, it's not this one. Sorry, to tire already. It's whole red. Where is it? Oh, it's right here, right next to me. So this is what I use to base the metallic gold. So I'm going to do gold with black metal. I think it will be awesome. Let me just zoom in on here. So what is in gold? And it's highlighted. This portion of the wing. So it's basically the entire skull. Because since the light is coming from above, it's hitting completely everything, almost leaving no shadow. Actually, the ones below is just a tip. Oh, it's not. Holy damn. Another thing that I'm trying to paint that I didn't tell you guys is I'm making a really huge effort to trying and painting in a way where I don't paint all of the surface. Because for example, right now I just fucked up where both of the wings now don't have any black separation. Where those that had a black separation, it's much easier to the eye to detect everything. So one thing that I'm trying to improve is to be more consistent with my brush strokes and leaving the black gaps between uh, parts, because I feel that that black lining or that line of shadow actually helps our eye to identify right away um, what is what, right? So let me just fix that tiny little tiny detail, and the other ones blob in black is good. You see how well now everything transitions? Just because that black lining is there, right? So I just want to make you guys aware that not leaving the black space could actually become an issue for your painting. So now that we're done here, I want to be getting this side and here. I don't know if I should change anything else. Oh, I found another piece. And it's black. It's this symbol right here. I don't paint a space marine. I don't know for how long, maybe 8 months. Yeah, I think 8 months was the last time that I tried to paint a space marine. I think my first miniature that I painted was actually a space marine. But I don't know, I just found other stuff. Fucking hell. I'm not getting the hang of it. Okay, like that. Making the linings too thick. The separations were all wrong. Fuck my life. It's not brown that I want the black. Okay, it's more thinner because it's drying the tip too fast. Okay. Nice and easy. Nice. Oh, I just hope I don't ruin the next layers. I'm going for the gold. Okay, so what is going to be silver? I don't know. Should I paint the weapon silver? Oh, completely forgot about this hand. Of course, bro. The freaking hand. I think I'll go with the silver. I think that for the handle, we'll leave it black. Mm, what can we do more? Oh, you know what? I could get some barn thread and start building the ice as well, just to give it more depth to what we want to see. Again, this is just a sketch. And we'll grab a little bit of Sahara yellow in here. Oof. I don't like to put too many blobs of paint because otherwise we'll be wasting paint unnecessarily. I don't want to do that. We'll start with the yellow here. I want to sketch it. See how it will look like. Frickin' hell. Have to clean that. Full maximum concentration right here. So you can start to see the you can start seeing the non-metallic gold. Okay. And I think like this, we have a really rough sketch of how it will look like. So the parts that are going to be black, I'll leave them at black, but I think I might create a small shadow right next to this blue. Maybe a taint of ocean blue? Maybe? Let's try it. Because this stream is all about trying, so might as well just try it. Just a small 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 2 minutes pause. Let me just grab some water. If I can find my... So, guys, we are almost at the 2 hours mark. Saying 2.5 hours. But I'm really tired. I worked my ass off today at work, and yeah, it's already 3:40 in the morning. I'm really tired, as you can notice. So I'm sorry, guys, but I will be doing the blue stuff stream tomorrow, preparing everything and trying it for the first time, and then yeah, I'll continue painting the veteran, and yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night, and thank you all for watching. See ya.